I did, and I'll do it again.
Why doesn't she does that with, like, when I was trying
You want to eat it off the ground?
Yeah, or like if you throw something. I tried doing the toy training that we did here with the balls.
Yeah.
Totally disinterested. Could not care less.
Huh.
I tried putting treats in a Kong ball and tossing that after she saw there was a treat in it.
Yep.
Totally disinterested.
Well, she tends to be a little bit of a cautious, nervous dog. The only thing that gets her into play mode might be him.
Right.
So if you need to teach her or want to teach her to fetch toys or whatever, you may have to do it when she's in a good mood.
Okay.
So the basic principle is I want to stand away from the dog, not close to me. I wait till she gets a little disinterested or distracted, and then I'm going to give her a little teeny, like right here. As soon as she feels that, I make the marker sound, then I give her food. So it goes attention getter, marker, food. Attention getter, marker, food.
So just a tiny little...
Yeah, and if she doesn't pay attention, I escalate it. So it's tap, tap,
Okay.
tap, 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 until she eventually looks. So we'll do it here again.
Okay.
Right? Initially, I do the tap until I break her concentration. Let's say she's looking over there. I do it until she does this. Ultimately, and I'm starting to do it now, I do it only when she turns all the way around to look at me.
Right.
Right? Oh. She's going the other way. Okay, so once things get settled here, we'll
Now
do
are
it
you
again.
doing this marking and giving her the treat
So watch here.
when she gets the tapping so that it's not just a scary bad thing?
Partly, yes. What I want to have happen more than anything is I want her to know what that sensation actually means. If it's only painful, right, then, especially when she's upset or distracted, I'm going to have to add a lot of pain to overcome whatever she's upset about.
Which is what happened to him.
Exactly. And
Okay.
in many cases, if the animal's reacting back, it adds to her upset. So she's upset because of the stimulus, the dog,
Right.
plus she's getting pain, it's added together, and it upsets her more.
Okay.
What I want to establish is the concept that when I'm talking to you through the leash, I'm saying, hey, pay attention. Hey, pay attention. So
Right.
now when she starts to get upset and I give her a little bump like this, she automatically turns and looks at me
Okay.
and doesn't get upset for two reasons. One, she knows what it means, and two, I can use it at a much, much, much lower intensity than
Right.
trying to override a reaction with pain alone.
Okay.
In other words, as soon as she starts feeling it, she turns and looks at me, as opposed to it having to be strong enough to actually pull her off. Huge difference,
Right.
right? So
Right.
look, little jiggle, right there.
Okay.
All right, it's the same principle with a remote collar. You do the same thing. You tap, tap, tap till they look at you and you make the sound. You give them the food or a toy, whatever it is they're interested in.
Right.
So now they run way over there. You call them, they don't come back. You give them the slightest little tap. They go, oh, sorry. And they come running right over. They don't get scared. They don't flinch. They go, ooh, what was that? They know what the sensation means
Right.
by itself. So watch, she's a little distracted. So it's tap, tap, tap till you get her attention. As soon as she looks at you, marker sound, then you have a second or so to feed her.
Okay.
That's the principle or the procedure that we're going to use during the initial part of this training.
Okay.
So now when I'm walking with her and she starts to go over there, I go tap, tap, tap. She looks at me and realizes I'm going over there. She follows. It's no longer, yeah, I feel you, but you're not pulling hard enough to pull me out of the weeds. Right, so I'm going to keep trying. No, it's
Right.
tap, tap. Oh, it means come over here. So. Go ahead and give her that one because she was doing real good. She didn't need a tap, so right there.
So I do this with her just like this initially, and then once we get
In a calm area, hard surface is the best. So driveway, even
Yep.
the backyard's okay, but try to, if you can, try to do it on a paved area because there's less distractions. You know,
Less bugs.
Scent-wise, exactly, exactly.
Okay, we can
All right.
do that.
So see how she's just orienting to me? All right, here we
Yeah.
go. There. So I'm going to give her a firmer correction here in a minute. Like the next time she looks away, it's going to be firmer. And what
Okay.
you should see is immediately she orients right to me. Okay?
Yeah.
So she didn't drop, she didn't panic. She, oh, what? immediately.
Right.
Go back and play the video, you'll see she went just like this, right to me. And especially being me, she doesn't love me, right? That's pretty significant that her first reaction was to look at me.
Right.
What that does, if you do it occasionally like that, is it sensitizes her to the leash. So now when I give her the leash, talk to her through the leash like this, I can just literally use a
Right.
finger.
And she looked right at you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she knows, hey, if I don't do it, it can be a lot firmer than this. So look, right there. Always moving away from the dog. Now we're going to increase the difficulty a little bit. I'm going to start running and moving at a little bit faster pace. Start jogging first. Give her a little bump there. I'll have you try it a couple of times. What I would start with is just wait till she wanders away from you a little bit. Right there, 4, 5, 6 feet away. Tap, tap. Make the sound. Give her these. Okay? And when you do it, keep the session short, like we would be done right now.
Okay.
3 to 5 minutes at the most.
Okay.
We're going to push it a little bit because she's actually doing okay. Yeah, exactly.
All right, so I just walk and let her wander a bit?
Yeah, just walk away from her and wait. And then what you're going to do is you're going to wait and look and see when she looks away from you. And when she does, tap, tap, tap. Yeah. So just stay right there. Let's just see what she does. So stop and see where she goes. Just walk away from. There you go. Nice. Good. Good. Try to get it so she's a little further away from you.
Okay.
Yeah. Good. So stop there and then just see what she does. Okay, so walk away from her. Back away. Just walk backwards. There you go.
Now what do I do?
Nothing. Just wait. Take a quiet step back to right there. Give her a little tap tap. Okay, too late, so we just start again. You see how short your leash is?
Yeah.
Drop most of it and just let her have 10, 12 feet of leash. She's 3 feet away from you. She needs to be twice that. Yeah, that's it. There you go. Nice. Good. So right there. Tap tap. Nice. But remember, it's tap tap, marker sound, then deliver.
Oh, right.
Okay, so don't be bent over until you've made the sound.
Okay.
Nice. Perfect. Perfect. Good. So now just try kind of gather up the leash as if it was normal length and walk up and see what happens when you walk her. If she lags or goes to the side, give her a couple of taps. No kiss sound, just a couple of taps and keep walking. There you go. Tap, tap. Nice. Very good. Perfect. All right, so I would work on that with
Okay.
her. The food, see how she steps on you? Yeah. The food plus, the tap plus the marker plus the food, you're going to do that for 3 or 4 days.
Okay.
So she just learns that's what it means.
Okay.
What you're going to do next is you're actually going to start putting it into practice, meaning you're going to use it now.
Okay.
We're using it a little bit here, but do that as much as you can.
Take your
Tap,
food.
tap, and then sound, and then food.
Okay.
Okay? But how you use it, it looks like this now. So you're walking, and depending on what the dog does, I'm going to use the leash accordingly. So if she goes that way, walk away from her, tap, tap. Try to stay 6 or 8 feet away from her. She lags too far behind, tap, tap. Always walk away from her. All right? So if she goes that way, I go this way. All right? She slows down a little bit, I speed up. Tap, tap. by the bushes here, see if she goes that way. She does. I go this way. Okay, they're keeping up now. That's good. Okay, she's lagging. Tap, tap, tap. Here she comes. Tap, 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 tap. Here she comes. She's going to slow down with you. Tap, 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 tap. Here we go. Tap, 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 tap. Run away from the dog. There. The corrections become, hey, pay attention. My body language gives her the meaning, like we talked about before.
Right.
Right? So at best, it makes her, oh, what? Pay attention. And if I'm going that way instead of this way, she has to turn. And what it does is it teaches her to pay attention to you. Right? So she wants to keep her face and her eyes on you at all times to see what you're doing. Because when she doesn't, she gets a hey, hey reminder, and then she has to fix the mistake. So why not just keep my eyes on this guy, and it's all good. Plus he gives me treats and he likes me. There's no confrontation, there's no yelling, there's no heel, there's nothing. It's just basic, it's the foundation work for obedience. If the dog's not paying attention to you or doesn't want to, you can't ask it to do a bunch of stuff.
Right.
Or you shouldn't.
Right.
Right? You notice that every time she turns a little bit, like if she goes towards me and goes that way, I go the other way.
Isn't that your cat that he was making
that's
that?
my cat, but Ted, it was blue. I think it was whining. So watch. Turn away.
Oh, I hear it.
Yeah, hear her in there?
Yeah.
She just wants to come out and play.
Again, this starts to teach the dog what you want. It's not very harsh.
Right.
Right? And the dog actually, you'll see as they develop, they actually want to do it. They get like, oh, they just pay attention. Where are you going? Where are you going? And they're not upset. They're just, okay, what are we doing next? What are we doing next?
Right.
Then you start incorporating obedience. And then when they don't pay attention, tap, tap. And their attitude is very different than if you use it just punitively. Oh, you didn't do it. Bang, correct.
Right.
It's a totally different emotional response. This, they actually get motivated. Like, oh, okay, yeah, sorry, I was distracted. Yeah, I got distracted by a fly, right?
Her
So look,
shadow. She's chasing shadows
it's
right
good.
now.
So watch, I back away, and a little tap tap.
Okay.
And see your tail actually came up? She's like,
Yeah.
okay, sorry. I had to take a little break. Oh, it's your watch thing on the
Yeah.
ground.
She goes crazy over this. Anything reflective.
Yeah.
So I think you said in an email when she does that in the house
Yeah,
to give a correction,
like this.
like this style,
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, you can use this style. So
like
look.
a distraction kind of.
Yeah, so if she, in this case, since we have a big area and we're walking,
Right.
what I'm doing is I'm just using the walking training, right? So if she goes that way, look, I go this way. I'm facing away from her, in other words, every time she gets a correction for this. And if it's that intense, you probably will need a training collar. She's not going to respond to a,
A cinch.
no, not for that, because she, you know,
She does
she looked like a
fixate.
cat. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and that's not going to work. So look, see, look, I can pull her away from it by turning away myself now.
Okay.
'Cause she knows if I leave and she doesn't follow, the attention getter happens.
So we've got the so essentially I have the training collar on her then all the time.
You can, if it's a plastic one, you have a little more leeway as far as how long you leave it on,
Right.
because it's not as abrupt and it doesn't get caught as much. But you know, if she's not supervised, I'd take it off,
Okay.
just like most.
Right.
collars. But yeah, I have a dog that, in fact, we'll bring him out in just a minute, that has this collar on all the time.
Okay.
We just leave it on.
We're
We
gonna
leave it a
follow
little bit loose, and you know, if I
Yeah.
need it, I clip it on, but most of the time it's just like a regular collar.
Okay.
So I don't know if you can make that, I don't know who was making it, but if you can make that,
Yeah.
that same,
I was off your watch.
yeah, it was off your watch.
I'm getting the sun.
There you go. There we go, see? Just my movement now pulls her, has a little more power.
So if we're in the kitchen and she does this, we just need to put her on a collar and work
If you're
with her.
working with a specific issue like that, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. Good, that's it, watch. And also by me being further away, it's not confrontational to her either. She doesn't
Right.
actually associate it with me. In fact, what she does when I correct her, she runs towards me.
Right.
If she knew I was doing it or upset with her, she wouldn't run
wouldn't.
towards me. No, not at all. See? Look.
Yeah.
She's still looking for it, but she's able to devote part of her brain to staying with me. Okay? Which is how you start to break apart obsessions.
Right.
You can't just extinguish them. You start to slowly change and modify them until it's workable. And then eventually, it's not as interesting to them anymore because it's so diluted, if you will,
Right.
that they go, oh, there's a thing, but oh, we're going over here. I'll come back and chase you later. It's not this all or nothing, I have to have it type of thing.
Okay.
And you just modify it slowly like this. So look. I didn't even have to use it. I just barely touched it, and she was, oh, that's right.
Right.
Very sensitive to it. And for her to orient to me like this, for a dog who doesn't like me particularly, you know, if I reach her, she backs away, this is good.
Right.
She's learning
Yeah,
to gravitate towards something she doesn't like because it's a
Yeah.
good thing. And to pull her away from something like that's pretty good too. So I mean, I'm doing some pretty tight turns back and forth, and she's staying head towards me, right with me.
Right.
And that's all I want her to do.
Okay.
She can look around all she wants.
Right.
She'll get bored when she can't go after it, right? And then she'll just be like, ah. Besides, when she realizes if that gets too much of her attention, she gets one of these corrections, she really
She won't
goes,
want
yeah,
to.
okay, I need to just really ignore that.
Okay.
All right,
Awesome.
so we'll bring out Dory.
I have one more question about
Sure.
her. I don't know if you're familiar with the San Diego Humane Society Fur Ball. It is a ridiculous event that we take our other dog. Boots doesn't get to go,
Okay.
but our other dog goes to, and we're going to take her this year.
It's a black tie charity dinner for the San Diego Humane Society.
People
You're gonna
bring
take her or your other dog?
Well,
Well,
we're gonna bring both.
Okay.
But my question is, should I not bring her? Is it if
Well,
it's
she
an-
needs work. I'd be
Right.
concerned somebody would reach down when you're not looking to touch her face, and she'd feel cornered because there's a crowd or whatever, and growl or snap or bite. You know, if
Okay.
you want to go to a crowd, then I would devote your energy and time to be able to work on her rehabilitation
Right.
or to work on her behavior
Okay.
modification. If you want to go to a social event where you can kind of relax and pay attention over here to people,
right.
she's probably not there.
That's why we don't bring him.
Right.
Because, I mean, we bring a 10-year-old dog who just
Exactly.
cares
We have a
less
couple
about
dogs we
everything.
could easily bring to a type of situation like that.
Right.
We have others like Ted where he's a working dog. I don't take my eyes off him. I want to know what he's doing at all times.
Right.
Because if I don't give him something to do, he's going to find something to do.
Okay.
You know, or if you have
Yeah.
a dog that's reactive or nervous or doesn't like hands,
Right.
it's not the best place to bring him unless you're.
Plus, I don't want to make any nervousness that she's having worse. You know.
Right.
We want to improve
Right.
it.
She definitely needs to be exposed to those things in a positive way. So it's
Okay.
not like you want to isolate and shelter her.
Okay.
But if you overdo it, or even worse, you overdo it and then you're not paying attention to her signs, okay, he's getting too close, and then bang, now she has to fend for herself,
Right.
it's a big step backwards.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.